Hi. Good to see you again.
As well. It's been a while.
I know.
Just wanted to let you know I have a doctor's appointment in Radnor. I gotta get a little thingy. I'm 45, so I need to blow out of here.
No problem.
So I don't want to be disrespectful.
No problem. Thanks for telling me. Feel free to also leave your props and I can take them afterwards if you're somebody on your mat.
Come on, so if you don't mind.
Absolutely. Thanks for letting me know.
How's the rest of your summer?
Blew by? How did that, yeah,
I don't know.
blew by.
I don't know.
But
I
it was,
think I left you with the land of the split.
that was July. Yeah, I know, the land of the split. We've entered a different land now.
Was the one who flies over the kingdom and we tell the story?
Hanuman. Yeah, we're on a different deity today, so you came at the right time. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Anytime.
I love all the stories.
I'm glad.
Those are so much.
I'm so glad. Ah. Hi. How are you? Tell me your name one more time.
Melanie.
Melanie. Nice to meet you.
I've taken other classes here, but I've taken your class online.
Welcome.
Not in person, so I'm excited.
Thanks for saying hi.
Yeah, thanks.
Glad you're here. We have plenty of time before we get started, and a lot more folks are waiting on, but 100% we're going to use a strap and a blanket today. The strap is the theme of class, so we're going to use it a lot. Strap, blanket, and then blocks. Always a good idea, and I'll probably say it again as more people come in. I love seeing the two of you together. This is so sweet.
We used to do yoga all the time together, and have not for a while.
Cute.
Now our son is in school.
I heard, and so now parents have a little more playtime. I love that. Hey, Jenna. I always like looking at the computer and watching who's coming down the catwalk to see who's rushing to yoga class, but we always make it on time. Hi, welcome. Some of us are looking very determined to get to class, and I am fully spaced out every time I walk in here. I'm like, we're in bliss. Welcome. Hello. Hi, Emily. So we'll start in another minute or so. Take your time getting comfortable. We 250% will use a strap today because that's what all the mythology and storytelling is about. So a strap, a blanket is a good idea. We'll have our knees off of the mat a few times, so lots of cushioning there. And then to really round it all out, blocks. Grab those two. Excellent. Okay. So much I want to say today. So while you guys are getting settled, take, again, all the time that you need. But for those of us that are new to one another, my name is Anisha. Thanks for coming. I have a few announcements to get to. There's some really great, welcome, there's some really great workshops and things that are coming up in the fall, but in the service of getting started and getting moving, I'll wait to share those after we begin. But today is such a sweet day to practice. All of my family group threads on WhatsApp are blowing up because it's the holiday of today's the official day of the holiday of one of the great deities of the yoga tradition, and I've been sharing stories about him the past couple of weeks. Today I have another story, and the next few weeks I'll have more to say. So he is one who you might be familiar with. We got two statues, one medium, one tiny statue of him up here. And there's a little scavenger hunt. It's not an official scavenger hunt. I just like to think that it is, but he's peppered all downstairs throughout the yoga studio. And then he's on top of the camera. Like right here in front of me, his little stuffed animal is on top of the camera for many different reasons. And one of the reasons, his name is Ganesha, or Ganpati, the elephant-headed god. And he is known to be, his most famous qualities, he's known to be the remover of obstacles. So they put a stuffed animal on him, a stuffed animal on the camera to be like, don't bonk into me, I'm gonna remove the obstacle out of the camera, but I always bonk into it, so sometimes it works. But today, the story last week, I shared the story of his origin, how he was born, what he did, how he came to be who he is. And today's story is going to tie along with a lot of the props that we use, and it's going to be based on what he's holding in his hands. So before I begin, and I'm going to try and shorten this as much as I can so we can start to practice, but the yoga tradition and philosophy that we practice from here at Three Queens is not that the deities and the stories and the mythology are separate from us. I saw a really sweet tweet on Twitter the other day that said non-fiction stories are ways to expand your world through real life things, and fiction stories are ways to expand your world through the power of imagination. So these stories of mythology that have existed years and years before us are a way that we get to see versions of ourselves. The stories themselves can act as fiction, they can act as just phenomenal tales that are separate from our lives. But the tradition that this yoga practice comes from is that the gods are a reflection of us. Every quality that exists within them inherently exists within us. So when we hear the mythological stories, it's not something that we aspire to become, but the qualities already exist within us. So the stories are just a reminder of our own divinity and sweetness. Okay, that being said, we're going to talk today about what he's holding in his hands. So a few imageries that you see of him. Sometimes he has two hands. A lot of the gods and goddesses have more, 4, or next month we talk about the goddesses who have 10 arms, and they're each holding something different in the hands. And in one of his hands, he's holding a bashu, which is a lasso or a loop. So we're going to use this a lot today. And so he is the remover of obstacles, just as he brings the obstacles closer into focus, just as he is the obstacle himself. He is a very formidable deity in size. He sits in the top of thresholds, in thresholds themselves, taking up a lot of physical space, so that when you see him, you can't go through. You have to find your way around, and you have to find an alternative path that may not have been presented to you before. So last week we did some binds. We're going to do some more binds today using the strap. And the strap, acting almost as our lasso, is going to help us bring obstacles more into focus or let them come further away to see what becomes to reveal itself to you. So a lot of fun things to try out, but remember, always everything in class, I will never stop saying this, but everything in class is always an offering. It is never once an obligation. So at any point, if there's anything to be modified, to be spectated, to be taken a break on, please feel free to do what it is that you need, because it's a lifelong practice. It's called sadhana. It's not just one class, 1 week, 1 month. We practice in this lifetime so we can practice in the lifetimes that come afterwards. Okay, that was 4 minutes. I could have talked about that for 12 more, but 4 minutes in, let's start to get moving. When you're ready, thanks for coming, let's take a comfortable seat, however that may look. Maybe you're up on blocks and props to give your hips lots of height so they're above your knees. Maybe your legs are out in front or you're cross-legged. However you arrive, let yourself arrive into your seat. And then arrive within the seat within your seat, meaning the breath that fills you up. When we close our eyes, it gives us a moment to see ourselves more clearly. Where each round of breath that you take dissolves the day that was. Each breath that comes after lets you arrive to where you are now. And each successive breath makes space for what has yet to come. So as you take this time to notice that breath, can you let it naturally begin to deepen? Letting the breath move from your nose down into your belly and up into your heart. And every exhale, offer the breath up and out through the crown of your head, through every fiber of your being. Feel that breath a few more times at your pace, letting the breath move in, down, and wide, tethering you to yourself. And each exhale, as the hips stay heavy, the breath pours itself up and beyond. We practice here first and foremost as an offering to the breath. So as you feel how the breath moves through you, around you, and beyond you, let your breath naturally begin to deepen and see how it deepens you. We'll begin our practice here with each other and at home with 3 more rounds of that same breath. Take a moment to place your hands to center where that may feel for you, maybe on your body itself or in front of your heart in a moment of self-reverence and Anjali Mudra. But wait for your next inhale as it fills you up. And exhale to offer it out. 2 more times on your own. At the bottom of your breath, pause for a moment. Take notice of any difference that comes when you listen for and really remember your breath. And now keeping that attention unwavering as best as you can, release your hands, blink your eyes open, and let's meet today standing at the top of our mats to begin linking breath and movement together. So find your way to stand in Tadasana with both feet on the ground under those hips. Check to see that those toes are pointing ahead and find a softness in your knees so that they don't lock out. And now we'll start to add the arms. As you breathe in, reach your arms to the sides and all the way up to the sky. And exhale to let the hands come down by your sides. Let's do that a few more times together. Breathe in, fill the belly, the lungs, and the chest. And as you exhale and the arms come down, can the crown of your head grow taller? 4 more times on your own. The eyes can be open or soft, but exhale to let the hands come down. 3 more. Fill yourself up, not just in the front body, but the back of your body as well. And exhale to let the hands come down by your sides. As you go twice more, let the knees stay soft. Let the crown of your head grow tall. And just notice what it feels like to take up a little more space in your wingspan out through the fingertips. As you find the next breath and the arms reach all the way up, take a big exhale to let it out. Let the arms come all the way down. And now full breath in, reach up, stretch up to the sky. And as you exhale, soften your knees, your hips, and fold over your legs into your forward fold. We'll be doing a lot through the backs of the legs this afternoon, so I love to have blocks underneath my hands to bring the floor higher up to me. Or you might bend your knees a lot until your fingertips tap the floor out in front of you. But let your head be heavy in towards the earth as you bow in towards yourself. You might even slowly, if it feels appropriate, nod the head yes or gently nod the head no. But offer it to your breath. Ganesha had the head of a mature elephant and the body of a baby boy. And so if imagination serves, can you feel the weight of your skull, the weight of your head get heavier to the earth? Feel the back of your neck elongate. Take another breath in and a deeper breath out to offer every drop of that breath out. Okay, let your hands come down onto the floor. We're going to meet in downward facing dog. 1 foot at a time. Walk your feet all the way back to the back of your mat. And take a few breaths here. Maybe you pedal the heels from side to side, or soften and straighten your legs. But take a deeper breath in and a longer breath out through every fiber of your being. Good. On your next inhale, lift the right leg up and back. Step it through to catch your lunge. And gently lower the back knee down onto the floor or your blanket for some extra padding. Still haven't made a new playlist since 2019, but next week, that is my goal. New music for 10 years later. But as you find the back knee down onto the floor, you can be on your fingertips, you can be up on blocks as you lift up through the chest. Take a deep breath in here, lift up through the heart. And as you exhale, let the right thigh get heavier. The right knee might slightly travel forward of the ankle. Inhale to draw the right knee back up. We'll do these few gentle pulses. And as you exhale, let the right thigh get heavier to the earth. One more. Wherever you are, take a big breath in, lift the chest. And as you exhale, let the top of your right thigh descend towards the earth. You can stay right here for this version of Anjaneyasana. Climb your palms up onto that front right thigh. And use your hands to press your thigh down and forward, away from your right hip. Now lift up through the chest, lift your gaze up off the ground. Maybe the left arm reaches up to the sky, right palm stays on the thigh. Take a big breath in, stretch up through the left fingertips. And for a mini side stretch, tip up and over to the right towards that right leg. Every inhale, can you tug the left hip forward, the left thigh forward, as you stretch up and over to the left right hand side. Wait for the inhale as it brings you all the way back up. Let your hands tap the ground. We'll meet in downward facing dog. And take a breath or two as you find your way there, hips to the sky. Notice any difference from the front of your left hip to the front of the right hip, however small or drastic. And now we'll switch sides. Lift the left leg up and back. Step it through to catch your lunge. And gently lower the right knee down onto any padding that you need. Fingertips on the floor or on blocks on either side of that left foot. And as you breathe in, lift up through the chest, let the right thigh get heavy. And as you exhale, perhaps the left thigh backs up, tack the outer left hip back. We'll do that a few more times. Breathe in, let the left thigh descend, lift the chest. And exhale to let the left thigh back up. One more time. As you inhale, bend into the left thigh. Try to tone your right tush, your right butt cheek. And as you exhale, let the left thigh back up. Now bend into the left thigh, lift up through the chest. Stay here, or perhaps one palm at a time, you climb your hands up onto the left thigh. See if you can take that awkward thumb on top just to mix it up. And now use your palms to press your left thigh forward, away from the left hip, maybe making space. Lift the gaze, lift the chest. Stay right here. Maybe the right arm reaches up to the sky. As you stretch up through the right fingertips, slow and steady, tip to the left. Keep trying to tack that right hip forward. You might hug the right thigh forward, tone your right tush. And as you stretch up and over to the left, press your ears back to lift your chin. Inhale to come all the way up through center, tap the ground. One more time, we meet in downward facing dog, hips to the sky. Pedal the heels, a moment to notice what a difference feels like from side to side. And now inhale to find plank pose. Big exhale to lower all the way down onto your belly. Let's start with a wide-armed cobra to begin. So bring your hands off of your mat onto the floorboards. You can be on your fingertips or on ridge tops, but dart your elbows to the ceiling. And now as you inhale, lift up through the chest for cobra with very wide arms than you normally would go. Really press your pinky toes, the tops of your feet, down into the ground. Feel your legs grow longer to the back of your mat. And as you push into the earth with the hands, hug the shoulder blades together to broaden the chest. Take one more breath in and exhale to release. Lower down. Hands under the shoulders, tuck your toes, press up and away from the floor, and take it back to downward facing dog. At any point, if those wide-armed cobras serve you, feel free to use them. More space always gives more space in the chest and back of the heart, so see what you're working with. And now on your next inhale, lift the right leg up and back. As you exhale, step it all the way through to lunge. Spin your back heel to the floor, and let's come to warrior two for a moment. Arms to a T as you face the long edge of your mat. Walk the left foot back an inch or two towards the back of the room. And as the left foot gets long, bend into the right thigh. Big inhale to reach both arms up to the sky. Bend your right elbow, pat yourself on the upper back, and let the left fingertips hold on to the right elbow. Now think elbow all the way up towards the ceiling, and gently press your head back into the forearm to lift your chin. Take a full breath in here. Stay for the exhale. Let the right thigh get heavier to the earth, and try to guide your right knee open towards those right pinky toes. Yes. Inhale to release the arms. Press the right leg straight. Take a full breath. Get taller. And on your exhale, triangle pose. Right fingertips to your block or the floor. And for today, let's come to the outside of the right leg. So right fingertips to a block or the floor on the outside of the foot. Good. Once your right hand comes to the outside of the leg, see if you can let somewhere on your right arm and somewhere on your right leg touch each other. And now press your right arm into the right leg. Press your right leg back into the right arm and see what it feels like all the way up through the right outer hip. Take a full breath in. Stay for the exhale. And Emily, your brain is on my wave. We're going to kind of side stretch. Reach your left fingertips forward for another side stretch here. Can you feel this starting from the back left foot? So press through the left pinky toes. Reach out through the left waist, through the left shoulder, through the fingertips, and can the crown of your head grow longer to the front of the room? One more breath in, and on your exhale, unravel yourself, hands to the ground, and take it back to downward facing dog. Pedal those heels from side to side. Check out what a difference feels like in one leg versus the other. And now on your inhale, come forward to plank pose, heart forward. Exhale to lower all the way down to your belly, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale to rise for your cobra, or that wide-armed cobra. And on your exhale, we meet in downward facing dog. Take all the time you need to get there. When you find your way back to down dog, following your breath, more than my voice, lift the left leg up and back. Step it through to lunge. And for Virabhadrasana 2, spin the back heel down. Reach the arms to a T. As you face the other side of the room. Walk the right foot back an inch or two towards the back of your mat. And now notice if your right knee locks out like mine does, tiny bend in the right knee, press into the right pinky toes, and bend into the left thigh. Let the right leg be steady. Inhale to reach both arms all the way up. Bend the left elbow. Pat yourself somewhere on the upper back. Let the right fingertips hold on. And now think elbow towards the ceiling. Instead of more to the middle of your head, think elbow to the front of the room. And then use your right fingertips to grow taller. Press your head back to lift your chin. Take a deep breath in. Stay for the exhale. Let the left thigh towards those pinky toes. Nice, Lisa. Inhale to release those arms. Press the left leg straight. Take a breath here. Stretch out through the fingertips. And on your exhale, triangle pose, left fingertips to your block on the outside of that left foot. If you're coming onto the shin, totally reasonable, but instead of pushing your left hand down into the shin to lock the knee, push your left shin up into your hand or let your left fingertips tap the block itself. It'll give you lots of space. Shrug the shoulders up and back. Press the ears back, lean back onto the strength of your legs. Take a full inhale in. And as you exhale, a side stretch, sweep that right arm forward towards the front of the room. As if someone's pressing down on those right pinky toes and you have a friend lassoing your right wrist forward, stretch through every right fingertip, grow 1 inch longer. Big breath in, stay for the exhale, press the ears back, and now look down, bring your hands to the earth. We meet in downward facing dog, hips to the sky. Pedal the heels, a breath to notice, and now inhale brings you forward to plank. As you exhale, lower all the way down onto your belly. Okay, let's start with the strap. Have your strap close by, let it be on one side of your mat. We'll use it in a moment. But as you come to lay on your belly, Stretch your arms and legs alongside of you. We're going to come into locust pose for a moment. So stretch the legs behind you, reach your arms alongside of you, and flip your palms down to face the floor. Before we lift up, shrug both shoulders all the way up to your ears towards the top of your mat. And now squeeze your shoulder blades together. On your next inhale, lift your head, lift your chest, float your palms up off the ground. And as you exhale, let the legs lift up off the floor. As you lift everything but your hips, try to soften your eyes, soften your gaze, and offer it to your breath. Take a deep belly breath in, spin the inner thighs to the sky. Stay for the exhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together to lift your palms 1 more inch. Big breath in, and exhale to release, lower all the way down. Rest on one of your cheeks, rest on your forehead. Maybe you wiggle your hips from side to side or stay still. But breathe full and steady into that belly. The other thing about Ganesh, the elephant-headed god, he holds the lasso in his left hand. And then if we remember from a few weeks ago, the little vehicle that he rides around is a tiny little mouse. His mom rides on the back of a tiger. His dad rides next to a cow, a huge, humongous cow named Nandi. And Ganesh, despite his stature and size, he rides on the tiniest of little mice, because what can the mouse do is find its way through any of the smallest scenarios. And I always think in locust pose, I can't take another breath, but there's always room to find a drop more of breath, because your little mouse is going to be the fluency of your breath. So let's try the second round with a strap. You're going to grab a strap between your hands at your low back. So give yourself some space. If you want to interlace your fingers, you can also go there. But start with your hands maybe hip distance apart or slightly closer together, elbows very bent at the low back. Shrug your shoulders to the ears, wiggle the shoulder blades together, nice clean, and then as you inhale, lift your head, lift your heart, lift your arms up off your tush to the back of the room, and as you exhale, let the legs lift up off the ground, locust with a bind. Soften the eyes, listen for the breath. Where's that little mouse, the vehicle of your breath where you can find a drop more space? Try to tug your strap apart so the shoulder blades come together on the upper back. Press the ears back to lift the chin as you take 1 more breath in and exhale to release. Lower all the way down. Beautiful. Rest on the other cheek. Wiggle your tush. Stay still, but offer it to your breath.
Hey, Anisha, do you have any recommendations of, like, for holding the strap, how our hand positioning should be? Like this, like that? I wasn't sure.
Absolutely, great question. So you want to, when you're ready, y'all, you can come up through to tabletop, take a couple of breaths, sip on some water. This is going to be helpful for where we're going today. So the question was, when your hands are behind your back, what's the grip that you want to hold them? And it's something that's so small but can make such a difference in the shoulders. I think, for me, when the thumbs face each other, it helps bring the shoulder blades together on the upper back. When the thumbs face apart, it gives me more leverage to tug the strap apart, to shrug the shoulder blades towards each other. So my suggestion is, if you don't have any shoulder stuff going on, try thumbs facing each other and then pull the strap apart, because the whole point of where the hands are is to work this action, because what the shoulders want to do when the hands come behind your back is they want to roll forward. So we can experiment. All the questions that you have, I give like non-answers to. I'm like, try this, or this, and see which one works. Because every one of our bodies is going to be a little obstacle that gets in our own direction. My left shoulder has been dislocated for years, so my one hand goes one direction and the other hand goes the other. So there's a non-answer. Is that helpful? Okay, good. Down dog. Do some quad stretches. So find your way with your blocks, framing out the front of your mat. You may or may not use them in a moment. But from your down dog, take a breath or two, and now lift the right leg up and back. As you exhale, a moment in core plank, draw your right knee to your nose with your shoulders over your wrists. You can always tap your right toes down in the middle of your mat, but push into the floor to lift your belly, lift your butt, and then scoop the right thigh 3 inches further forward. Inhale to reach the right leg up and back, 3-legged dog. And let's do one more with a twist. Right knee to left shoulder. The hips and thighs want to drop. Push down into the ground. Lift your butt higher. And into that space, can you draw the right thigh 2 inches further forward? Inhale to extend up and back through the right leg. And as you exhale, we'll meet in pigeon pose or lizard lunge. Right knee to the right wrist as you lower the right shin down. Good. Come up high onto your blocks on either side or in front of that right leg. And as you come high up onto blocks, hug the left knee forward towards the front of your mat. When you hug the knee forward, the right hip will tack back so that you can bend the back knee, lift the back toes up off the ground. You might walk your right hand forward of the right shoulder and off to the right, so the left hand can reach around for the left foot, or you might lasso your strap around the foot itself. As you hold somewhere on the leg or with both hands on the ground, can you slide those bottom ribs back? Breathe into the middle of your back. Shrug that left shoulder up and back and peek away from the floor. Take a deep breath in, down, and wide. Stay for the exhale as you lift the heart, lift your gaze, lift your chest away from the earth. Beautiful, y'all. Inhale to slowly, with care, release the leg. Let's come down onto the forearms for a moment. Elbows under the shoulders, just here for a breath. Lift the back knee and thigh up off the ground and slide the right leg back to meet your left for forearm plank pose. Ta-da! Knees down or up away from the ground. But for today, can you walk your legs to come hip distance apart, so a fist width distance apart. Now reach the heart forward, slide the tailbone back. You can stay right here, there's so much to do. Or keep the left elbow pressing down as you spin your heels to the right, toes to the left. So the upper body is in forearm plank, the lower body is in side plank. Push your left forearm down, lift your chest. Now draw the heels and toes back through center. And just move the heels to the left, toes to the right. Push the right forearm down into the floor. Take one more breath in. Stay for the exhale, and now draw the heels back up. Reach the tail back, reach the heart forward, grow long. And now lower the knees, lower the chest, lower the belly, and rest. Ta-da! Whew, the remover of obstacles and the obstacle himself. Forearm plank. Take a couple of breaths. See what the quality of your breath feels like, the beating of your heart. Slow down the next breath in and exhale to let every drop of that breath go. Okay, we're not going to do that again. We'll just do forearm plank next time, but we got to take that thigh stretch on the other side. So come on up through to tabletop. Take as many breaths as you need here. And we'll meet in downward facing dog one more time to check the other side out. From your down dog, wait for the inhale to lift the left leg up and back. We got to find those core planks. Carve the left knee to the nose as you reach the shoulders over the wrists. Can you push into the ground, lift your butt up, lift the right thigh up, and into that space, maybe the left thigh comes 2 centimeters further forward. Inhale to extend up and back through the left leg. Last one, left knee to right shoulder. Lift the right thigh, lift the belly, scoop the left thigh 1 centimeter further forward, and inhale to extend all the way up and back. We'll meet in pigeon or lizard lunge on the second side. Left knee all the way wide. Whew. Come high up onto your blocks or high up onto your fingertips, way far forward of that left leg. And as you find your way towards pigeon, it's an action of hugging that right knee forward. The right hip wraps forward, the left hip wraps back, so that when you bend your right knee, you're not on the kneecap, you're more on the base of the thigh, maybe some more sustainability. Breathe here, or with the left hand grounded, reach your right hand around to hold the right foot for the stretch in the front of the thigh. Nice. Heel towards your tush. Slide those bottom ribs back. Feel breath into the middle of your back. And as you shrug the right shoulder up and back, can you feel the belly just gently turn from right to left so you face the front of the room? Inhale to slowly release the leg. Come on back to downward facing dog. We won't do another forearm plank because why? Hips to the sky. Take a breath. I am the remover of obstacles. No, I'm kidding. No more forearm planks. Take a few breaths here. Notice what you feel. And now from your down dog, lower the knees to the floor. Come into tabletop. Okay, sit back onto your heels for a breath. Sip on any water. Shake out your wrists. We're feeling okay? It got comfortably cooked very quickly after those core planks. So we're going to try out a few things on our hands and our knees. If you want a blanket, suggest a blanket underneath the knees itself, because what it's going to look like, we're coming towards this version of gate pose, a big side body stretch. So when you're ready, tabletop in the middle of your mat, hands are maybe on the ground or on blanket or blocks, and bring your right foot in between your hands, in between the blocks. Swing your left heel to the right like a kickstand, and now lean into that right hand as you climb your left hand up onto your hip. So this is like extended side angle or warrior two. Just the back knee happens to be down on the ground. Try to walk your right leg back so that your right arm and your right leg touch each other. And as you shrug the right shoulder up and back, push your right arm into the right leg and push your right leg back into the right arm. Take a breath here, or maybe the left fingertips reach up to the ceiling, or like we did in that triangle pose, the left fingertips might reach forward towards the front of the room as you lean your hips and waist back to the back of the room. Take a full breath in through the nose and a deeper breath out through the nose or through the mouth. That's it. Okay, look down to the ground. Bring your hands back to the floor. We're going to rewind our way back to table. However you find your way there, find your way back to your hands and your knees. Maybe a few breaths in cat and cow here to reset yourself. But let your breath and movement link together again. Let's try the other side. So from your table, left foot to the in between your hands. Keep your left hand on the block or on the floor as you swing your right heel to the left and climb your right hand onto your hip. That's it. Now feel that back right thigh in space. See what it's trying to do. Like you did in pigeon pose, can you hug the right thigh forward and then send your right hip back towards the long edge of your mat. That's it. Shrug both shoulders up and back, press the ears back, press the left thigh into your left hand, and press your left hand back into the left thigh. Stay here and breathe. Maybe the right arm reaches to the ceiling, or that side stretch you did in triangle, maybe the right fingertips reach forward to the front of the room. Can you lean your hips and waist back to the wall behind you? Like someone has a little lasso around your hips and they're trying to tug your hips back as your right fingertips are reaching forward to the front of the room. That's it. Inhale to look down, bring your palms to the ground, and let's take it back to tabletop. Find your way to your hands and your knees. You can sit back onto your heels, sip water, and I'll show you where we're going next. Okay, we've made it to the lasso end. So we're working today towards a pose called Vishvamitrasana. I normally do this one in March because there's great storytelling with it, but it's a beautiful pose that requires so much of ourselves. It's a big bind, and we've done a lot of versions of it already. We're seeing what we can put together. So how it works is we're going to take it 2 times. One version is going to be exactly what we just did with the knees on the ground, and the other version is going to be maybe with the knee lifting up off the floor. So it looks like this, where you come into that tabletop and you work exactly in gate pose, the same place we were in before. What tends to happen when you see the front view is if this hand is on the ground, this knee wants to knock in towards the big toe side edge of the foot. You want to try to connect the arm and leg together so that the knee and ankle stay in the same direction, and this is going to help us out. So the next stage, bust up 1, black me out, stay here, take a few breaths, and enjoy a big side body stretch, which is the ultimate name of the pose. That's what we're trying to find. If you want to explore with the strap, it acts like a little lasso around the foot. I like to start with the hand and foot close together because eventually they'll start to get wider apart, but start them close. And now as you lean into this block, this leg might start to get lighter. What'll tend to happen is that back thigh wants to slide away from you. You want to hug the back thigh forward, send the hips back, and maybe this leg extends forward to the front of the room. It can stay bent the whole time. Can you see how this is pigeon? This front leg is doing the same thing in pigeon. It's a big old hip opener, so there's so much to do here. Maybe this leg extends forward, or you give yourself a little slack on the lasso and this leg extends out in front of you like triangle pose. You gotta push the foot into the strap, use your hand to pull the strap back, because the lasso, if we remember from Ganesha stories, is what reveals the obstacle to you. It becomes like a magnifying glass. And also you can let the leg go far away to get a different perspective. So really, 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 strap could be of great use in this shape. Any questions? You want to try it out? Okay. By no means is it an easy shape or pose to be in any of these shapes. But the questions and the mythology reveals to us Ganesha's ultimate story is, what is the obstacle? Am I my own obstacle that's getting in my own way of going towards the pose or pushing myself to a pose that I don't necessarily want to be in? There's two sides of that coin. Incredible place to be. This is the sensation that we seek. All of this, it's just a costume that the body and soul starts to wear. Not necessary, but find the breath. That's what we're seeking. I'll talk you through it. We'll see how it goes. We got two sides. So come into tabletop. And if there's any questions, there's so many people, teachers and practitioners, please feel free to share any insights that you have, because it always helps. So I'm going to load myself up with my props, because they're going to be my greatest vehicle. Maybe blanket on these, maybe hands on blocks. But we'll start how we did before. Right foot in between your hands. Have your strap on the left side of your mat. You might use it. And as you swing your left foot to the right, like a kickstand, lean into your right hand and climb your left hand onto your hip. We were here before, same shape. Hug the left thigh forward, shrug the shoulders up and back, and find the side stretch to start. Reach the left arm forward to the front of the room. Now remember, ignore me. You don't have to do anything else. Breathe here for 3 to 5 breaths. If you want to explore the strap, the bus shoe, the lasso, find the strap in your left hand and wrap it around the right foot. So just the left hand holds both edges of the strap. Try to start by walking your fingertips close to the right foot to begin. It'll slacken eventually. And now right hand on the ground, lean into your right palm. And as you lean into the right hand, the right foot might get lighter. Think right foot towards the flat wall side of the room. Flex the foot. Pull the right knee back towards your right shoulder. Shrug the right shoulder up and back, and maybe the right foot extends straight ahead in front of you. And as you give yourself more slack on the strap, the right foot might reach forward to the front of the room as you bend your right elbow to the sky. Breathing, breathing, breathing wherever you are. Yahoo! When you don't want to do it anymore, slowly release the foot, bend the knee, and lower it to the floor. It's a lot of work there, especially the blanket will help with some friction. It inevitably will move down, but the way that I do it, again, here's a non-answer, is backing my way out of straightening the leg. So if I feel like this thigh is slipping back, I bend the knee, lean the weight into that back foot, and really go ass back towards the long edge of your mat, so that when the leg straightens, it doesn't feel like you're going to tip forward and lean forward into it. So to Emily's point, if you feel that back leg like moving forward, you got to back all the way out, recenter the back leg. Good question. Side 2, let's try the other side. Tabletop, take a breath. Left foot in between your hands. Swing your right foot to the left. And as you lean into that left hand, start with the right hand on your hip. Gate pose. Shoulders up and back, ears back, lean back, maybe stretch the right arm towards the sky or the front of the room, offering it to your breath. Stay right here and breathe. Press the left thigh back into the left hand. Yes, back row, and the left thigh into the arm. And now if you want to try that version, look down to the ground. Lasso the strap around your left foot. And now as you lean into the left hand, yes, lift the left foot up off the ground. If it feels like that right thigh is slipping in front of you, bend your right knee, lean your hips back into the right leg. Then as you push your foot into the strap, the left foot might reach forward. Maybe you bend your left elbow as the foot extends to the sky. Yes, and you turn the belly and the chest to the sky, breathing wherever you go. Beautiful. Inhale to slowly release, lower the left foot, and take it back to table. Yay! We love a strap, always and forever. I'm like, wrap me in them like a mummy. That was a dream. The strap will only help reveal and bring the leg further and closer away, and neither is correct. They both reveal different things. So we have a couple of more minutes, and since we've done everything we need to do, might as well just put the extra sprinkle on top. You can do exactly what we did again. You can rest in child's pose, or for one more round of Vishvamitrasana with the back leg lifted, I'll show you how to get into it as well. So strap again will be a great resource. This one comes from down dog. And what you'll do is you'll walk your feet an inch or two closer towards your wrist so you get smaller. Lift one leg up and back. We'll do the same side together. And like we did in that core plank, knee to shoulder. And now the back heel spins to the floor like it would in Warrior Two. As you lean into this hand will get lighter. And you got some options. I'm going to bring a strap around the foot. You can hold the foot. But what I want you to work is instead of thinking about what this leg can do, to Emily's point from the last pose, it's how steady can I be through this back leg. This back leg will want to drop. This is where you'll want to go. It's just inevitably what's going to happen. You want to lift this back thigh up and back, up and back, up and back, so much so that it gives this front leg room to extend, maybe enough slack on the strap so that it reaches forward. Like the back thigh wants to drop, but I'm working back thigh up and back to help revolve myself open to the sky. The exit strategy for us all is going to be pigeon pose, because that's the entryway in. Here, pigeon, pigeon. Make sense? If you saw that and you are like, girl, no, absolutely not. It is Monday at noon. You do not need to. You can work. We've been here before. You can be in pigeon the whole time. Get a big hip opener, because we'll meet you there in just a few moments. You can be in child's pose. You can lie on your belly. You can take a peek around. This is your chance to see what obstacles are in your way and how you can find your way around and through them. Shall we? If you want to go into this version of Vishvamitrasana, I'm going to talk you through it. If you're doing anything else, I cut you loose for a few moments and you go on your own. Fair? And then we lie down after this. Okay, so come to downward facing dog. Hips to the sky. Have your strap to the left side of your mat. You might use it in a moment. Now walk your feet an inch closer towards your palms. Make your down dog a smidge shorter. Lift the right leg up and back. Right knee to left armpit, twist. Spin your left heel all the way to the floor like Warrior Two. And as you lean into that right hand, let the left hand get lighter to hold the strap and lasso it around the right foot. Now lift the left thigh up and back, up and back, up and back. It's the back foot. And as you draw the right knee to the right armpit, think pigeon pose. Maybe the right foot extends straight ahead to the flat wall. Maybe the left elbow bends and you reach the left arm forward to the front of the room as you shrug the shoulders up and back. Whenever you want to come out, pigeon. Release the leg, slide the right knee all the way off to the right, and lower onto blocks or forearms or fingertips, but take 3 deep breaths in anywhere that you choose. Very, very dreamy. A slower breath in and a deeper breath out. Binds and these big poses that we've been working on this past month. Binds, the metaphor behind binds is what do you choose to bind yourself to? What do you choose to bind yourself away from? And what do each of those choices reveal to you that might not have been there before? So we bind ourselves up in order to create more space where there might not have been. Can we try the other side whenever you're ready? If you did the first side, we got to do round 2. Be that pigeon pose, be that gate pose, be that child's pose, but find your way to downward facing dog if you're going towards Vishvamitrasana round 2. Walk your feet an inch closer towards your wrists as the hips go high. And now lift the left leg up and back. Left knee to right shoulder as you spin your right heel all the way to the floor. Lean into that left hand. And as the left hand gets heavy, the right hand gets light to lasso your strap around the sole of your left foot. Lift the right thigh up and back. Get it, Matt? Right thigh up and back, up and back, up and back. And as you draw the left knee to the left shoulder, maybe the left foot extends to the brick wall. Maybe the right elbow bends and you reach the left leg forward like triangle pose to the front of the room. The exit, pigeon, lizard lunge, the floor, however you find your way there, something solid underneath you. The nice thing about these poses is when I do weeble out of it, you're just like, I'm supposed to be here the whole time. So take 3 breaths wherever you are, in child's pose, in pigeon pose. But let that breath turn inward. Close or soften your eyes to notice what you feel. In through the nose and out through the nose or mouth. As you find 3 or 4 breaths in any pose that you've been in, fill up the belly, fill up the heart. Big exhale to offer every drop of that breath out. We'll find our way back upright, coming back to downward facing dog for the last time today in class. Hips to the sky as you take a few deep breaths and find your way there. In through the nose and out through the nose or mouth. Okay, lower the knee. Actually, inhale to plank pose, sorry. Exhale to lower all the way to the belly. The knees are ready to come down. I know, they'll come down in a sec. Come up for air cobra or a wide-armed cobra. Broaden through the chest. Take an extra breath or 2 here as it feels appropriate. And exhale to lower all the way to the floor. Let's come up through to tabletop. Sit back onto your heels. And one thing I'd like to do, it's a little combination of frog and toad pose. So the blanket comes off the stack like this. You can fold it in half one more time and place it to the left side of your mat onto the floorboards. What we're going to do is come into tabletop so that your knee and your shin is on the blanket itself. Good. Try to come onto the left toes to the left, so you're on the big toe side edge of the left foot. And now here, slide the left knee to the left and begin to slither the right leg back to the wall behind you until your hips, your belly, and your chest lands. You can make a pillow with your hands, rest on your forehead or on your cheek. Some of us sleep like this. This is how I sleep all the time, so it might feel familiar. Or for some of us, there's lots to exist in here. Can you slide your left knee an inch more to the left and maybe draw the left knee up towards the top of your mat, so it might be in line or higher than the left thigh. Okay, stay down on the ground. Bring your palms to either side of your chest. Tuck the left toes under, or the right toes under, excuse me. You can stay here, or as you inhale, look down to the floor, peel your heart and your chest and your belly. If you want a little late extra belly work, tuck the right toes, lift the right knee and thigh, and lift the hips as you peek at the belly like cat pose. Big breath in, and as you exhale, lower all the way down, lift the chest. Inhale to arch. As you exhale, maybe you come back into that cat shape, belly to the spine, and come all the way back down. We'll all meet down onto the floor behind you. One more thing, bonus thigh stretch. You might bend your right back knee, reach your right hand around towards the back of the room. You might lasso your strap around the foot or let your right hand hold onto the right toes. So the right foot is in half frog. The left leg is in half toad. Take a full breath in through the nose and exhale to really offer all of that breath out. Inhale to slowly release the leg. Slide your hands under the shoulders. We're going to switch sides, however you want to come off the ground. Take a breath. If I had thought of this better, I would have had you had 2 blankets, so you'd have to do no prop assists, but bring that blanket to the right side of your mat. Half toed, right knee, right shin, right big toe side edge of the foot onto the blanket. Slide the right thigh off to the right, and then take your time to slither your belly, your hips, and your chest down as the left leg extends back behind you. Rest on the other cheek or on your forehead or down on the ground as you take a few breaths here, in through the nose and out through the nose or mouth. Let that right thigh move away from your belly towards the brick wall. Maybe the right thigh draws up towards the top of your mat. Notice what it does in the outer right hip and inner right thigh. You're more than welcome to stay here. Or just because we did it on the first side, if you'd like, hands under the shoulders. Inhale to come up for cow pose or cobra in through the chest. And as you exhale, tuck the left toes under, and it's like you're coming into cat. Maybe the knee stays down, maybe the left knee lifts up. Look into the belly. Inhale to lower into this version of cow. Big exhale to round into this version of cat. Last one, big breath in. And as you exhale, lower all the way back down to the floor. Stay here, or for that bonus thigh stretch, half frog, Ardha Bekasana. Bend your left knee and reach your left hand around for the left foot, or let the left arm reach towards the back of the room or stay down on the earth. Take a deep breath in through the nose and exhale to really offer every drop of that breath out. Take one more breath in and exhale to let it go. And then slowly release the hold of your leg. We're going to find our way up off the ground, come into tabletop, and slowly flip over onto your back with your heads up towards me, your feet to the wall behind you as you come to lay on the earth. Bend your knees, bring both feet onto the floor, feet as wide as your mat, a few windshield wipers to close. With the feet very wide, your hands can be anywhere you'd like, on your body or alongside of you. Begin to windshield wiper your knees from side to side, dropping your knees from right to left and left to right. Let your upper back stay heavy on the earth. Let the back of your head stay heavy on the ground. As you take a full, steady breath in and a longer, deeper breath out. The next time the knees come up through center, draw your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. You can stay here with the knees in towards your belly. You might come towards a version of happy baby with your hands catching behind your thighs or behind your calves or the pinky side edges of your feet. But let the back of your head and your low back soften to the earth as you take a full breath in. And on your exhale, release the hold of your legs as you lower them to the earth. We'll make our way towards rest, towards Shavasana next. So give yourself a few moments to take anything that you need. Any final layers, any final props. You might let your hair down. You might let glasses go safely off to the side. But let yourself arrive to a place where you can be comfortable for at least the next few moments. I'll talk us through rounds of pranayama, this box breath or equal part breath to help prepare the body for rest and to slow ourselves down. You're more than welcome to just listen or follow along at your pace. But we'll begin by taking a breath in through the nose to fill up the belly and heart, and exhale out through parted lips as a way to reset. Take that once more. Inhale to fill belly, heart, the back of your body, and exhale to offer every drop of that breath out. Now with the lips gently closed, feel your next inhale in 4 separate counts. Inhale to fill the belly, the lungs, the heart, bless you. Hold for a moment at the top. And exhale for those same 4 counts, emptying heart, lungs, and belly as you hold at the base. Begin again. Inhale for 4, belly, lungs to chest. And exhale for those same 4 counts. You can continue with that breath, or as you inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently hold at the top for 2 counts. Exhale on your breath for 4, 3, 2, 1. And hold at the bottom of your breath for 2 steady counts. You'll take that breath twice more at your pace. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 1, 2. Slow exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 1, 2. One more round at your pace. Inhale on your breath for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 2, 1. Without any counts or holds, take a breath in to fill the belly, the back of your waist, up into the heart, the throat, the crown of your head, and exhale all of the breath out through every fiber of your being. Find the natural cadence of your breath as it settles you into the earth. And the heavier you let yourself become, the more spacious, the lighter, and the more divine you may just begin to feel. Begin to deepen your breath. Taking a longer breath in and a steadier breath out. Every time you inhale, it's this divine energy exhaling its way into you. And every one of your exhalations is an offering to this ever-present divine breath. So as you take another breath in and a steadier breath out, begin to let the breath that you have awaken the body that you're in any gentle movements that just feel sweet to you. You might start first by rolling your wrists or ankles or wiggling fingers or toes. Perhaps you stretch your legs away from your arms or draw your knees in towards your chest. But however you're ready, whenever you're ready, you can bend your knees, reach both arms overhead, and roll to any side of your choice to coil and wrap around yourself. Take a breath or two here, and as you press down into the ground, rise to a tall, comfortable seat, the same way we began. Let the breath move in, down, and wide as it fills you up. And exhale to offer the breath up and out through every direction. Our time together will finish the same way we began, with one more of those breaths. You can place your hands to center where that feels for you. As you take a deep breath in, to let it all go. You might bow your head to your hands or lift your hands towards your head in such a simple yet sincere gesture of self-reverence, bowing to your own self and to one another who practiced right alongside next to you. And with every ounce of my heart, I bow to each and every one of you all. Thank you so much for being here together. Thank you. Phenomenal work. Thank you for coming, listening to all the stories and practicing. Take your time, drink water, take care of yourselves. And I'll see you guys soon. A couple of announcements, like October is gonna blink and we're around the corner. So if you're interested, Adriana has been offering a pranayama practice group, which is all virtual at 7:45 in the morning. It's 30 minutes of being in group with each other and doing these pranayama practices to get your day going. The classes are recorded, and the feedback has been, it's just been such a sweet 8-week series to get rituals to welcome in the fall, and it's all linked with pranayama and Ayurveda. And she's so phenomenal and knowledgeable. So that's on the internet. Eric is leading a mindfulness and meditation series. If that's something that you're interested, all the information is there. And then October 21st, which feels like years away, but it's gonna come soon, I'm doing one of my asana intensive classes, which is 3 hours of workshop style. So no, physical practice requirements needed, but we get to break down a few of these postures that sometimes there's not enough time for in an hour-long class, and chit chat and be in good company. And I'll do one in the fall and then one in the spring. So come through if you're free, and if not, I'll see you guys around. Thank you. Take care. Does anyone else have any announcements? Anything's going on with you? I know Alyssa, who teaches here, again, far away, is doing a retreat in Costa Rica through Lumos. It's in like February or March, so get on that if we're planner aheaders. But let me know if you have announcements. Thanks everyone at home.